Hey, this is SpinTripFall. It's June 22nd. We are on version 4.4 of Fortnite, and this is the Meta Watch. Okay, so the big news for the Meta Watch is the Stink Bomb and the Rocket Launcher Nerf. So the Stink Bomb, we're going to cover that first, actually. I like the Stink Bomb. I think it's useful. It may be a little underpowered. It does 5 damage per half a second. So every tick it does 10 damage, so 10 damage a second, which is not bad, And you can really flush people out. I've seen some people get kills with it. I don't think I've got a kill with it yet, but I have forced some errors that allowed me to get kills. So you place it in the right spot, they've got to run out in the open, and you shoot them, or some such variant of that. It's just like any other grenade. It's a epic rarity, and I think it could use a little buff. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw it get a little buff like the C4. I think C4 is probably a superior weapon right now. I mean, you can knock out a whole tower at Tilted Towers with it. Whole skyscraper, So, alright, the next big news is the Rocket Launcher Nerf. Okay, so the first thing is they decrease the maximum amount of rockets that you can have to 12, in addition to the ones in the clip. So the maximum number of unloaded rocket ammo is 12. So that holds over for the grenade launcher too. So I call it a rocket launcher nerf. There's a little bit of nerf for the grenade launcher too in game. But in addition to that, they also changed the rare rocket launcher up from 2.3 seconds for reload to 2.8, and then for each additional rarity, they kicked it up about 0.5 seconds, we'll say. Well, 5/10 of a second, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're spamming rockets at a long range to keep someone suppressed, it actually does make a bit of a difference. And I feel like this is going to change the meta a little bit. And they did say I think I saw it on Muselk's Twitter actually. They said that they're trying to get away from the shotgun rocket launcher and big build meta in game. I don't really know why. Because, I mean, that's kind of the game. That's what everyone loves. I get the rocket launcher nerf, and we've seen that little bit of a pump shotgun nerf before. But this is, if they go with harder nerfs on the shotguns, I wouldn't be surprised. If they just go with nerfs to juggling the shotgun so you can't double shotgun, I would actually be happy with that. One of the big limitations that I've been hitting lately with the game is just your inventory slots. You've only got 5. You gotta juggle meds and guns you want, and you're normally forced to use an AR. You gotta have the SCAR or just a standard AR or something, burst from loss, whatever you got, but you gotta have an AR and not a scoped one. And then you're gonna want 2 shotguns. Because, I mean, that's the meta right now. Let's be real. You're double pumping, or you're pumping and tacking, or you're using heavy shotgun. I've seen some people who prefer to use the single. I mean, they'll use double heavy if they can, but they will swap double pump for a single heavy. I mean, of course, you run into people who use the single tactical and stuff too. But anyone who's playing seriously, they're doubling. So you've got 3 slots there, and then you're probably gonna want a ranged or a rocket launcher, or grenade launcher. You're gonna want something in that 4th slot, and leaves 1 slot for meds, which can be kind of tight. You're going to probably carry a mini stack, because that's the best med to carry, but then you run into a chug jug. What do? You drop your extra shotgun. Like, how do you juggle that? You just not go the sniper? You wait until you're closer range to fight? That is an option, and I feel like when I'm playing a lot of the time, at my level, I'm not the best with the sniper. I actually do better whenever I just wait till I get up close and shoot with an assault rifle. But this is about the meta, and at the top level of the meta, people are sick with the sniper rifle, so to drop that lethality from a range could probably put you at a pretty big disadvantage in a competition or a competitive match. That's not something you want. So you just take the stack of minis, and that's what you got, and you just run with it. And then we're gonna go on to some little bit older news. So the shopping carts, ever since they've been in the game, they've been in and out of the game, man. They put them in, they work okay. I mean, they're not meta changing really. They're not a giant change to the meta, but there's something, and they're kind of fun to play around with your friends and stuff. But then they take them out, mostly because of glitches, not because they don't fit in the meta, but I think there's some exploits with them, and also just glitches with surviving fall damage and all kinds of other stuff. So they've been trying to get those fixed up and put back in the game. I think they intend to keep them in the game for a while, but they're not working right now. It's not like the jetpack where they're like, well, this is only going to be here for a while, guys, because we know it's kind of breaking the meta a little bit. Even though I really enjoyed playing with the jetpack in, it did make it a little one-sided when you got to the end. And the last thing we're going to cover today is the bounce pads. So, bounce pads are, I mean, they're okay. They're not great. They're not super meta changing. You can get down from a sky bridge or a high spot. You can bounce someone around into a trap. You can bounce out of a base. You can bounce into a base, but most of the time people just build so that they can stay at a higher elevation rather than just bounce into there and then be running around with them at their level. You're going to want to get that guard up and build up, and if you can, keep that higher elevation. So I don't know what they're going to do with the bounce pads. I don't know how you'd even buff them. They just seem like kind of an extra thing in my F5 slot that I'm not really utilizing that much, you know. I use traps quite a bit now that they're 150 damage. That's nice. I mean, you can really get some trap kills. So I use traps. I'll trap up my base I'm in, or I actually got a trap kill today. It was pretty nice, but the bounce pads occasionally, you know, if I need to get somewhere quick, if I need to get up somewhere, I guess they're more of a utility thing. There's just no glamour in it, but so here we are stuck in the double shotgun meta with you got to keep your scar. The thermal AR is also pretty new to the game. I'll go ahead and cover that real quick. It's okay. It's not revolutionary. It's a little better than the scoped. I feel like it's a good replacement for the scope. I feel like they could almost phase the scoped out. But really what I want them to phase out is the semi-auto. It is nice to be able to scan for people, but if I got a hunting rifle on the ground or a bolt action, you better believe I'm picking that up before I pick up the thermal. Anyways, this has been the Meta Watch. Hope y'all enjoy. Bye-bye.